Hello and welcome. My name is Pete with CultureShoc Coaching. I'm the lead facilitator and lead coach here at CultureShoc. I wanted to give you a quick update on how the 2020 and 2021 CultureShoc coaching is going, and I also want to share with you the top 3 objectives we've seen from clients and help them make progress in that area. As a quick reminder, this is the CultureShoc coaching model that we take clients through, typically on a Zoom or a Teams meeting. So the first part of the model is determining your objectives, and I don't want you to limit yourself. So this is anything from how can you make your own life easier to how can you be more productive and proactive working in a remote environment? Can we be better leaders and managers to our people? Do we need to work on our habits? Is it a sales process thing? Whatever that objective is, I don't want you to limit yourself. Once we understand what the objective is, we do what's called a reality check. I'm looking for the good and the bad, the entire landscape of what your reality looks like right now. What are the parameters in which you have to live at work? What are some of the boundaries that you're dealing with? What are some of the obstacles, but also some of the resources at your disposal? Once we've determined the reality, we work our way down to the options or solutions. The options or solutions are what could I try to get closer to reaching this objective. And these are things that you haven't tried before. These are things that you could tweak that you're already doing. These are even out-of-the-box solutions that you've never even thought of before. This is really a discovery portion of the conversation. And every time we have a coaching conversation, we spend a lot of time discussing options and solutions. My favorite question to ask as the coach is, what else? What else could there be? Once we've determined a good number of options or solutions and we feel like we're confident that some of these are really worth a try, we move down to the taking action part. And this is the final part of the model. This is where the rubber meets the road. This answers the question, what will I do? If the options are what could I do, this is where you commit to things and you take action. Every commitment has a deadline, and the next time we get together for a coaching conversation, the first thing we do is check in on that homework. So after working with numerous coaching clients in 2020, 2021, here are the top 3 objectives we've heard. Now, you may hear one or more of these and think, I could probably improve in that area. And if that's the case, this model can help. Several of our clients have reported to us that remote environments have been the most difficult part of their job in 2020, 2021. This is anything from establishing a great routine, having good habits, and helping hold other people accountable to that as well. The second biggest objective we've heard from clients is becoming a more pure version of your job function. If you're in sales, the pure version of this function is you spending 80 to 90% of your time doing high value activities from a sales perspective. If you're a leader or a manager of others, your job function may be to spend as much time as possible leading and managing those people instead of getting caught in the minutia, down in the weeds of communication. And the third one for us is crystal clear communication. And that is more and more difficult the more and more spread out, remote, hybrid we currently are. And so if you are finding yourself with a partially or fully remote team, it's more difficult than even ever before to make sure that nothing slips through the cracks, there are no misunderstandings, and people just aren't on the same page. The way to get back on the same page is pretty simple. Work through the model. Determine your objective. Think about what the reality currently is. Then consider what are some of your options, either things you've tried before and need to tweak, never tried before, or even some out-of-the-box solutions, and then work that down to taking action. If you commit to something, you need a deadline. The next conversation we have, the first thing we do is check in on the homework. How did you do? Did you keep your commitments? So if you can get yourself into the communication cycle with a coach of determining an objective, getting all the way down to commitments, and then execute on those commitments, you are going to make a ton of progress. And that's what CultureShoc Coaching is here to do. We'll spend as much time as needed to help you identify your clear objectives, work down to the commitments that you execute, and we'll hold you accountable to those. If you or a team member you know would benefit from something like this, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Thanks.